Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sunny West for continuing action here in the Nationals 2023. We're at Joondalup Bowling Club for the first time in our streaming content for this wonderful fortnight of bowls that will come to an end on Friday. But before it does that, we have got some fantastic matches to come through the Australian Championships here. And we start with the women's triples here. Round 2 action coming up. Clive Adams here, back with Peter Harris. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thanks, Clive.
Yes, great to be back. We've had a busy few days at the side series, and now it is time to knuckle down and have a look at the Australian Championship triples. I love the Australian Championships, Pete, because you start with a full field and you end the day with a gold medalist.
Gold medalist every day.
Someone goes home a winner. Yes.
That's always good.
All right, so as we said, this is a round 2 match. Now, this is WA's Jill Adam, Irene Leahy and Chris Ace Watson. And they are taking on Queensland's Lauren Schultz, Gail, Crompton and Wendy Wilson. They are just playing the first end right now, so the match has just got underway. They are in Section 1 of the draw and they both lost their first round encounters. So this is a really important match for both teams to keep themselves in the hunt for a gold medal match later on this evening. And as we see Wendy Wilson now on the mat. Now you've got the red and grey, maroon and green bowls against the yellow, the blue and the orange. So Wendy Wilson here coming down just a bit short. So Pete, just looking out there, green looks like it's running about 14 and a half. Players won't mind that with the wind up. Just makes it a little easier.
Yes. Yeah, the breeze is here as normal in Western Australia, or certainly the metropolitan coastal suburbs.
Chris Ace Watson with a great starter here. Parks right next to it for shot. Now Wendy with her final bowl. This is 2 bowl triples, so just the 3 players, 6 bowls per team. 18 ends is the trip. We've got a 2.5 hour time limit, which I don't think we'll get to. And any dead ends are replayed, no respots in this one.
Yeah, and just a bit of a warning, there may be some bodies in the way occasionally. Inexperienced ladies when it comes to TV matches. And it's always easy to say, stay off the centre line. But if that's where you normally graduate to, as we see Irene just shuffle over,
yeah,
then you do forget in the heat of the battle. So we'll try and get around that. We'll do the best we can.
So I believe that's 4. It is 4 shots to WA to get us scoring in the match. So a huge start to WA. And Chris, Irene and Jill have all tasted action throughout.
Yeah, they've had a warm-up, haven't they?
Throughout the week.
Jill and Irene were here, obviously, with the over 60s, and Chris has been over at Sorrento.
And Wendy will be familiar to watchers of the Australian Open, a semi-finalist, actually a finalist in the Australian Open pairs a couple of years ago with Trish Doolan. Cooler conditions here, Pete. Not as warm as we've seen over the last few days. Certainly temperatures up in the mid-30s to maybe even high 30s over the last few days. But nice breeze and around about a 26, 27 degree temperature. So players' comfort levels just a little bit more comfortable today.
More of an October temperature for us. We don't get that many in the 30s in October. But we definitely get late 20s.
And of course the Nationals brought to you by Tourism Western Australia, the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries with Lottery West, and the City of Joondalup, where all the action is taking place. There you go. Tourism Western Australia, walking on a dream. And of course you experience more in Joondalup town, as we see right there on the screen. So it's been a fantastic time in Joondalup town, that is for sure. And we've still got another 3 days after this before it all wraps up. I'll run through all the results from the morning games in just a moment. Got all of those for you.
Both ladies are on the wider hand. This is the hand where the breeze is coming from the clubhouse side.
Of course, you can check all those results yourself on the Bowls Link on the Bowls results portal through the Bowls Now app. And as an added feature now, there is actually a live games function. Now, I know we've been doing that live scoring page, but I'll say most, because not every scoreboard is being completely live scored here today, but most of the games are being live scored. And if you go to the event and click on live, you can have a look at the scores as they are happening. So it really is another great innovation that's there, and any live score that's there is as live as it gets because they're being updated by the scoreboard attendants. As we see Gail
on the what should be the narrower side after two pretty good bowls from Lauren coming from the mat. One really good one and another second shot as well. This one's going to pull up a bit short.
So just a reminder, as we see a few of the bowls come down, the orange and grey, or a little bit red, but it's orange and grey probably the best way to put it.
One's close to the jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Salmon?
I was thinking salmon. Very good.
Yeah.
I got some shoes that colour.
And maybe blue?
Blue. Move a turquoise.
Yeah, look from a distance they looked grey, but I think from our camera angle there it is more of a... Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Turquoise, and I think it's more of a base pink with a bit of yellow through it.
All right.
I think.
Well, those bowls are combining...
Either way, one shot, and Irene just drew a great second shot.
Those bowls are combining with the maroon of Gail.
Yep.
Against the yellow and blue of the West Australian players. Now, as this bowl comes to rest and we change ends, it's still 1 to Queensland.
Yep.
Let's have a look through the results from this morning. So in the women's event, WA went down 14 to 19 against the Northern Territory. Queensland went down 16-19 to South Australia. So that's why this game's so important for both teams. Of course, the loser of this one will essentially be out.
And of course, NT are playing...
When I say out, there is still a bronze medal chance, and they would still have a chance to make a bronze medal match.
So NT playing South Australia, so one of them you'd expect to be on 2 wins.
Yes.
Draw, of course.
In Section 2, it was Tasmania, Victoria, 16-12 over Victoria, and New South Wales, probably tournament favourites, Pete, with Tash, Genevieve and Kate.
Yep.
29-11 winners over ACT, so a big win there. In the men's event, New South Wales 15 over Victoria 12. Tasmania 19 over South Australia 12. The NT won by one shot over the ACT 14-13, and it was Queensland victorious 21-12 over WA. As Wendy sits out the closest WA bowl there.
To make 2.
Well, at least.
I think it's only 2.
Okay.
Run with me.
Oh yes, that's Chris. That's Chris in the
Bowles and
we wanted to have a chat about this centre line.
Yeah, we'll have to have a talk to Irene in a second.
Yes, that's going to make things difficult. So we will try and have a little chat. Pete, that can be your job. Peter will go and see if we can just sort out that centre line. Okay, well, we'll count these up. There's at least 2 there, and that last bowl of Wendy's may have made it into the count. So, high-scoring start. From our angle, it looks potentially 3. But maybe the front bowl. We'll just check that. Nope. So it is 3 shots to Queensland, and they fire straight back. And there's a 4-3 lead to WA. The team of Jill Adam, Irene Leahy, and Chris Ace Watson. They lead at 4-3 over Lauren Schultz, Gail Crompton, and Wendy Wilson. Another stunning day here. Just a few light clouds in the sky, but very much predominantly blue sky. Busy hustle and bustle of Marmion Avenue alongside. Plenty of cars going past. And then seeing all this action in place. If you are in the area and driving past, make sure you stop in and watch some of the great bowls. Well, you've certainly had an impact on Irene. She's not even standing on the rink now, Pete.
no, she's.
It doesn't matter down that end.
Just one step off the centre line, and she's decided the other rink's the best place to be. There she is. No, a lovely lady, Irene, and she will do what we ask. I'm sure of it.
Okay, so both leaders just trickling past with their first. Those bowls are both just about a metre behind the jack as you work out those distances on the screen. And another nice bowl there from Lauren, just trickles in behind, and anytime your lead lands a couple there in triples, you're pretty happy. It's one of those games, Pete. The three-person game, the two-bowl triples. It's very much a draw-based game, isn't it?
It is, and the end can actually get away with you because you forget you don't have those two extra bowls to build ahead or maybe play a shot.
Great shot here.
Great shot from Jill.
It's one of those ones where in a game of fours you very rarely see sort of the sixes and sevens. You don't even see a lot of fives.
No.
In triples, fours and fives are actually relatively common. They happen a lot more. It's very interesting.
Yeah, we've already had a 4 and a 3.
Yes.
So
the bingo card is getting filled up quick.
Yes.
As Gail was a little bit on the attack there, and it is still 1 to Queensland, which I think... 1 to WA.
Good track here from Irene.
Beautifully played. Nicely done. Does sit together.
So yeah, that wouldn't change Gail's shot, you wouldn't think. Just arriving through that.
Nice trail of the jack on offer as well. As you alluded to, Pete, in this direction, this is the tighter side, although it still looks like it's got some nice turn on it.
Got some turn there, isn't it? Because the breeze is blowing.
Oh, a little fall against the bias has perhaps brought that into calculations. Gives Irene a nice one to beat, that's for sure.
Yep, good marker bowl, as in the darts.
Just gone out a bit deep, but
not a waste.
No, not when they're...
Because Wendy can attack that a little bit, depending on the situation. Whether they're up or down, she can still attack a little bit, looking to sit those 2 WA bowls, or a nice 2-foot trail is 4 or 5.
It's the only trick with the without the paddler out there to tell us. Sometimes keep these things to themselves a bit.
You get used to the luxury of someone telling us, helping us out.
If you're wondering where we are in Joondalup, just in about 25 minutes north of the city, right up the coast. Beautiful spot. There's Wendy, that you would think will settle that debate. They were already looking to see if that was a measure before that, so you'd think that would be the shot bowl. But still a nice shot on here for Chris Ace Watson. Outstanding bowler in WA over the last 12 months in the women's game.
Of course, moved to the metropolitan area from Kalgoorlie in the last 2 years. And one of those reasons was bowls. It certainly wasn't the only, but certainly one of them was to improve her bowls. And it certainly has done that. Well, this is the widest line they've had, and I don't think it's going to get back in time.
Wasn't a bad look.
It's a good look. She had everything to play for with that. It's really good weight for it.
Okay, well, a chance at another number here if Chris can just get onto this jack. Doesn't need to move it far. Now, she's out on a whitish line. Here it comes.
Is she reaching?
Here it comes.
Definitely is reaching. That's a great shot.
Wow,
Will
has
it
it
get
gone
through?
too far? Look at that.
That breeze has carried that a long way.
Well, that one already been moved out, so as we surmised, and it is 2.
It's 2.
So Queensland now take the lead, 5 shots to 4 after 3 ends of this one. Repeating that we are playing 18 ends here, and the winner of this match will remain in contention to make the gold medal match. The loser will be looking to try and squeeze their way into a bronze medal match. Of course, we'll have round 3 for you right here, and then the final that we will cover this evening will be the men's triples final.
It'll be a late one over east.
It will. We start in about prime time, don't we? But it'll be a late one to finish. Could be in about a 11 o'clock finish. But they had a little wait for the morning, so it's all right. They've been able to get everything done that they need to, and now they can tune into us for the rest of the day and the evening. Players just finding their range here.
Still sticking on that wider side though, which can be, it will be more consistent. If you can find the line out there, it will be more consistent than the other one.
Jill's changing with this one. Pete, you alluded to Chris originally being out at Kalgoorlie Boulder, and of course Irene also from there.
Yeah, they've played a lot together when they were both out there.
And Jill up at Geraldton.
Yeah, I think there's only, 800 kilometres apart? So pretty close.
They must have put the team together on the phone, you would think.
Yes. I don't think they've necessarily practiced together that much.
But all players with plenty of experience, and of
yes.
course we'll see Chris in action in the singles as well. Sorry, we saw Chris in action in the singles at the Champion of Champions, mixing up my two events. Come on, Irene was the call. So close. So close to bursting into song. But that'll be the shot.
Come on, Irene. That's a song no one admits to they actually like, but...
Well, it's not quite the song.
It's close.
Yes, Anne. Stunning day. Bit breezy. But that's welcome to WA. If you want to play in still conditions, you need to go somewhere else, because
we at least need to go a bit east.
Yeah, we always have a nice breeze blowing through. But the good thing about that breeze, particularly today, is it's been a westerly, southwesterly all day, so it's kept the temperature down, which is nice. Keeping it to a nice, comfortable temperature. As Irene just needs a little contact on her own here, and she'll be very nice. That's well played. Nice little angle there to work with as well for WA. Chris Ace Watson will be able to play backhand and just turn their own bowl.
Just needs to flop it over once. That Queensland turquoise bowl is a bit of a marker as well. Just sliding under that nearly gets perfect line to do that.
I don't know what you said to Irene, but she is very scared to stand on that line now, Pete. She's standing miles away.
I did it nicely.
Great shot from Wendy. What a shot from Wendy Wilson. Touches it about 3 times on the way through and makes 3. What a great bowl.
Northern Suburbs. So they're wearing a club shirt. Power, is that their nickname? the Queensland shirts. They've got power on them. You've been looking at that?
Hey, one of the lessons here is you never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. I don't know.
Come on, mate. Power.
Someone in the comments will be able to tell
please.
us, though.
Yeah. You would think it's a club shirt.
Judy, you're cheering for Wendy's team. Give us a little bit more information on those shirts. They look good.
They do. That's what I'm saying. Nice lightning bolt through them.
A bit of a target there as well. So Chris raced past there trying to make some contact. Now Wendy with the chance to potentially tidy this up a little bit. Don't know, Pete. I mean, it looks like she maybe needs to play that shot first. Down on that backhand again. Maybe turn her own bowl just slightly off the jack, sit in front of it. Little touch of the jack's only good for Queensland. Hamilton Power, Fiona's let us know. Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah, thank you.
If ever we could rely on someone for the correct information, Fiona Hall would be high on the list.
So again, Chris looking to make some contact here.
Well, the issue here is she doesn't want the back edge of it now. It would have only made it potentially worse.
He wasn't going to make it any better. It's already probably... Well,
it's 3 and a look. Yeah, 3 and a look, I think. The back one will be in. And it's a matter of whether the stripe is in as well. Okay, well, they're having a look at the front bowlers, potentially WA's closest. Three is confirmed, and well
we're not. You were going the same way as I was going. Go for it.
Been a match of multiples, hasn't it? I mean, we saw 4 on the first end of WA, and since then Queensland struck back with a 3, a 2, and a 3.
They
lead at 8 shots to 4.
A lot of gaps in the field. They're finding the gaps and running hard.
Yes.
So a little bit of defence is required here, certainly by the West Australians, just one end at a time. It's a short jack, so there was no need to call the umpire.
Now, in other matches that we do have live scores for, and we've got the men's triples. We've got South Australia leading 3-1 over New South Wales, and Victoria leading 3-2 over Tasmania. The other 2 games don't appear to be being live scored, and unfortunately they're over on the other green, which will be out of our sight. Oh, no, they are on the other green, so we won't be able to. Yes, the 2 scores we've got are both on this near green, so we're going to struggle to be able to give you updates from the other green, unfortunately, but we'll see what we can do as the matches unfold. We might be able to get a runner over there to give us a couple of updates. But we'll let the matches evolve a little further before we do that. I can tell you New South Wales leading Tasmania 5 shots to 0 in the women's triples event. And South Australia leading 7-4 over the Northern Territory. Great shot here from Jill Adam. Toucher, nudges the jack, sits in behind. The swan on the bowls. Not a bad reply from Lauren, just drops in behind there.
Yeah,
useful for later. Can Jill do the same again? Pointed well again. How's the run? Well, certainly in the zone. 2 good bowls.
So it blocks up that narrow hand a little bit, certainly for the Queensland team. They're going to have to stay on this wide hand now, which they seem to be more comfortable with anyway.
And Gail's played some weight here. She's just going to trickle in past. When I say weight, I mean it was really only 5 feet, but just pushing through. I thought there might have been a temptation for Chris to call Irene on the backhand here, but sticking with the forehand, and this is going to go right past. So a little bit of cover at the back.
Yeah, it does seem. Yeah, I think either hand's probably depending on what you like, I suppose. You just don't want to set anything jack high on that side, do you?
No.
At the moment, it's really quite a deadish draw, which she's not far away from.
Just going to drift across.
The weight was good. It just needed half a bowl wider. Things were happening.
Pete, the New South Wales men in the Australian sides, pretty hard to deny that sort of victory, wasn't it?
It was. How many rinks did they end up with in the
20.
end? So after the first 5 rounds, they hadn't lost. They were 15 out of 15. I think they might have lost 1 against South Australia.
By 1 shot.
Yeah, that's a pretty dominating performance. Very much so. So it'll be 2 to Western Australia on the crossover, with 2 yellow speckled bowls. The last Irene bowl was jack high, so a bit of a guide for both players, although are we seeing some weight here from Wendy on the backhand, playing through her own front bowl. She's very close to it. What kind of too much connection? She got it too well.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that grand final yesterday, Pete. We saw it right here on RINKSIDE Live, and whilst New South Wales only won the aggregate by 8 shots, they won on every rink. So they lost 1 rink by 1 shot for the entire tournament. It's a great shot from Chris Ace Watson there. Closes right down on the jack. I don't know that might be the best performance we've ever seen. I mean,
possibly. I think I mentioned the one West Australian performance in the late 80s.
They win every rink?
Well, it was 4 rinks, so it was 28 rinks, and I think they might have won 26.
Yeah, incredible.
So
incredible. But it's certainly
like
up there.
Yeah, no, it's nothing better. No one's won them all, so nothing will beat it.
Quite an incredible performance. So Wendy with bigger weight now, looking to crash down into this. That is, well,
that tried to
unbelievably,
get back.
That might have done.
No, Irene's wiggling her finger.
I think Chris might as well take this bowl down with her, because there's no chance she's going to be playing this bowl.
No, she's not going to get back around the front one on the backhand, you wouldn't think.
Well, that was incredible. It just sort of came round in a loop and nearly came back up the green to draw the shot from behind.
We still got the angle it's still at.
As we delve in and get a nice close look at this.
So you could get around the front yellow, but I don't know if you're getting really back to it to do any good.
Look at that vision. As they poke around and say, well, what if I did this and what if I did that? And I think they're going to end up with, what if I do nothing?
I'm not sure Chris is convinced, but I think the girls are trying to convince her. Again, she's got to be, the only shot really she's got is on the backhand, isn't it? If she wants to play something, just drawing on the backhand.
Well, she wants to be brave. She can play down with the yellow bowl and try and pop Wendy's bowl out, but that would be a very brave shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's It's not
I don't know if it's playing on her mind that we've only had multiples so far and they're only holding one.
Yeah, exactly.
Backhand it is. It wouldn't surprise me if this is on a wide line.
Yes.
Yeah. There was never any danger that was going to cut down across the head. So 1-2 WA. It is an 8-5 lead to Queensland. And that is the team of Lauren Schultz, Gail Crompton and Wendy Wilson. They lead Jill Adam, Irene Leahy and Chris Ace Watson. Christina suggesting watching on YouTube and there's no sound. Makes it difficult to give Christine advice as well, because if we don't have sound, there is no point in me trying to explain to her how she might get sound. Yes, but I can't tell her that.
Can't tell her to refresh the page?
Yes.
Can we do sign language? I'll jump in front of the camera and do Marcel Marceau.
Caitlin Tyrrell watching, saying go the West. Caitlin, of course, a member of the Open WA women's team that really, finished fourth, Pete, but only a couple of shots in a couple of games away from a much higher finish.
A couple of really close ones.
Yeah, it was a really entertaining women's competition, actually, with Victoria ending up getting the chocolates, but really, with a couple of games to go, there was plenty that were... there we go. Christina, well done. Refresh the page and with us now.
Beautiful. Good
to have you. Especially with a surname like Adams. Fantastic.
There's got to be one or two good ones in the world.
Yeah. Well,
Christina
is a C. Adams. I'm a C. Adams. Nice to have you joining us, Christina. All right. Lauren looking to get down inside her own bowl here. It looks like it's just going to hold outside. Going to go to a nice home. So 5 ends in of this 18-end match. And as I said earlier, 2.5 hour time limit and dead ends are replayed.
A pretty good standard at the moment.
Yeah, certainly, and especially in quite windy conditions.
Not easy.
Yeah. Yep.
But
how much jack here?
Don't want any of that.
None. Wow. We're certainly seeing that breeze. It's difficult for you to see it on the screen, but you're seeing they are playing. That ball was on the wide hand. You see just how much turn it got late.
Once it starts, it goes quickly. But you see, this one will actually pull into the breeze as well, so it's the best of both worlds.
That's beautifully played. Just passed on the outside of the jack, and so this green still has some run in it. There's no doubt about it. I called 14.5. It might be a little bit quicker than that. We might have done the green a disservice there. It might be more like 15.5. Just looking at the finish on the bowls.
Wrong side for Irene. Still had that bit of weight, and that might have given the shot away.
Okay, so Wendy indicating that it's close, but she does favour their own bowl of Queensland. Well, both skippers with an opportunity here. We think it's one Queensland.
Yes. Pretty confident that
both skippers with a chance to nudge the jack in their favour or push a bowl. Chris with both those opportunities here really just needs to reach up into the area and give it a chance. She's not far away, might be just on the outside. Maybe just a little bit quick to bend. Chris using Taylor SRV. So a tighter bowl.
Tighter bowl.
Wendy now with her opportunity to get down into this.
Just got to hold, and it's not going to quite. The weight's really good,
Wasn't it? I think I heard Chris Sale just try and take a little bit of weight off.
Yeah, she probably did. She went through 4 metres, so that.
The only danger with this is taking too much off. That's the only danger. She's close.
Very close. Let's get down a bit more. Here, come into view in a second.
Just clips what we think is the shot bowl for no result. Not a bad home in terms of just stymieing Wendy's opportunity just to play down there and trail the jack, though. And as a result, we see Wendy just a little bit more hesitant with that. Drops across the line. Are they going to get the tape out? Nope. It is 1 to Queensland, as we expected. So Queensland leads at 9 shots to 5 after 6 ends. We're a third of the way through this one. Oh, I see. Christina's listening on Facebook, but no sound on YouTube. Okay. We do have others with sound on YouTube, so it might be, Christina, it might be an option of just shutting down the YouTube feed and starting it again, or just having a look for those settings. There might be a mute there somewhere that you need to unmute. We try and do IT support as well here on on Rinkside Live.
It's all free.
You can generally solve things, but not always. Over the years, we've discussed different browsers. We've discussed different ways of getting it onto your TV, all sorts of things. That's the family you're in when you join the Rinkside Live coverage. We'll try and help each other out.
Good angle here from Jill.
Great shot. Lauren had her weight. Can she just find a slightly wider line here?
Definitely out there. Has she weight? She might have just pushed it a bit, I think. Ended up being similar kind of line. So I don't know if these are Jill's normal bowls or whether she's had them specially made or in for the occasion.
It looks like they've been specially made, doesn't it?
She was in the over 60s team, and
yeah.
now this as well. So
great set, well played.
So I don't remember what she was using last time I saw her last season.
A golden black bowl with a swan on it. Feels suspiciously like it's been made for the occasion,
it's
doesn't it?
It's probably a little bit out there if you're not actually in the WA team at that point in time, and she wasn't. So,
tell you what, this is close as well. Just going to drift across the front, little edge.
Yes, but I must say I do like them.
So back in now, the option for WA wants to get they want to get a bowl just in behind the jack there on that backhand side. So no real reward for crossing the line here for Irene. Wants to get in amongst those Queensland bowls and just nestle in.
It's a couple of edges, certainly, that helps. It's a chance.
Would have probably liked that a foot inside where it is, but it's still a handy bowl, as you say. Those covering bowls can be just as important as landing one right next to the jack.
Yes, because certainly on these occasions, maybe you'd like to change things up, but they can't really change it. If they trail it, they're in trouble. So there's not a lot of change up unless you're really confident that you can just get it about 4 inches sideways.
7-1 scoreboard you saw in the background is the men's triples event, South Australia over New South Wales.
Irene again just sliding under. She doesn't want to touch that jack. That may well count.
He's probably slightly fortunate to hang on there, because that was still had a little bit of journey to run.
It did.
(8-5) to South Australia over the NT. That's the other match in this section of the women's triples. That's after 6 ends of that one. So both of those sides have wins, pretty similar margins. So really important match for that one in terms of some gold medal hopes.
Wendy's weight just over. It wasn't much.
And gets that ball back out of the count again, if it was counting, which we think it was.
Okay, no. There's indication there Irene might have wanted her to change, but no, she doesn't.
Well, it's pretty well pointed. Yeah, sorry, Pete.
Sure. It's a great shot. Perfect.
Well, if that counts, that is absolutely A1 position for where she would have wanted to land. Wendy close again.
She's
just going to be on the outside of it.
Can she get the roll back again? Nope.
No.
Irene indicates 3. It's an opportunity to add another one. Same bowl.
It's a 7-2 lead to Victoria over Tasmania in the other men's triples matchup.
Line's pretty good again here. Yeah, she got the weight.
Breeze is trying to stop it from getting back, but it's fighting and does it well.
Well played. So, fell back. I don't think it makes any difference. No, 4 shots. So
Welcome back to the multiples.
yeah. Another boundary.
9 shots apiece after 7 ends here. 3 of those ends have gone the way of WA and 4 of those ends have gone to Queensland. And on 5 occasions we've had a multiple score out of the 7 ends so far. So it's about maximising your opportunities at the moment. Of course, we are here at Joondalup today. First time we've done any streaming from Joondalup during this event. And of course, our 3 clubs have done a fantastic job. Joondalup, Sorrento and Warwick. Warwick hosted the Para-Nationals, of course. We were there last week. Did an amazing job, and I'm sure it was an intense few days for them. And they've taken the opportunity to have a little relax over the last couple of days, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Sorrento will be doing the same today after a huge effort over a big 4 days plus a practice day of the Australian sides as Jill starts well again. What shone through for me, Peter, is we don't see these events a lot in WA. So the pride that the clubs host them with, they really do see the major events for what they are.
Yes.
Great effort here. That's a great shot from Lauren.
No, they definitely saw it as a privilege to be hosting and a privilege to have their club in lights, I suppose, to a lesser extent. And of course, we're only just building into our season. We haven't even started pennants yet. So.
And look at that. There's a comment from Serena Bonnell. Warwick did exceptionally well. Love the members and all the effort they put in. I hope it's the first of many big events for the club. Thank you, Serena. One of the stars of the Para-Nationals, of course. Great shot.
Yes, I did. Was I involved in her pairs game, wasn't I? First day? Yep.
Yes.
Played very well. Just going to run out, I think. Tries to slide a little bit underneath.
We're just pushing past, but that's not a bad angle to be on. Not a bad angle to be on if Queensland were to attack down there a little bit more on the backhand, looking for jack movement.
Yep. Or if they Queensland get one close, it gives Chris an option as well. So. It's about a metre short. Irene's was about 6 feet through.
Oh, I don't know that this one's going to hang on. It's going to want to get away.
Yeah.
What's she doing with the jack?
Oh, she's
just sliced it. Changed all the angles.
She's scared the jack a couple of times. I was trying to find the word.
I wonder what you were going to say. Yeah.
She's scared is not even the word I want, but it's the best I've got at the moment. So she slid past it a few times, threatening to give it a little edge.
Tell you what, this is a fair effort. This is going to be bending home. It's just going to pass, I think. Yeah, what a great shot. He's not far away. About 1.5 feet past the jack. And really does give Wendy at least another one in the head now.
Yeah, so Chris would, you'd expect, if she beats the last bowl, she's played a pretty good bowl. Sits in behind it. May not count, but it'd still be probably the best position that she could play at the moment, unless of course she puts in a front toucher without moving the jack.
Talking to Tash and Jen, Tash Van Eldick and Jen Delves in the break, Peter, before this game started, and I was talking to them about how they cope with the windy conditions, and Jen said to me, I admire your flyers here in WA. I said, sorry? She said, well, most places when it's really windy you don't have any flies. She said, how do your flies do it? As Chris is just going to pass on the outside.
Yeah, no, they are persistent. They
She
know
said,
how to
she
ride
said
the waves.
it's hats off to your WA resilience that your flies are able to combat the windy conditions.
Of course, a fair few players here practicing for the next couple of days. There are 2 greens over there available for them to practice on. A few.
Wendy Wilson, what a shot. Out onto that wide hand and tucks the jack away and makes things very, very difficult for Chris Ace Watson now. Brilliant.
Chris doesn't mind an attack on occasions, and I don't think she has a lot of choice.
Yeah, and look, she can do it reasonably safely. I mean, Jill's bowl's sitting right on the shot bowl, basically.
Seems like
play down onto that yellow, pop the jack, but where do we think the jack might go?
Well, Irene indicated the other hand, which the jack can only really go to the opposition. That hand, I would have thought. There's no good things coming out of that hand.
This isn't a great setup for Chris, really, to attack. I mean, the jack's only really going to Queensland.
This is more weight than less.
Maybe kill it. Look for the kill. The angle's good for the kill.
You have the chance, if you do get it right on, now they're indicating the backhand here, with good weight, if you only get half the yellow, you might actually get the jack on the way through. If you're lucky, you'll get to the brown bowl on the way through.
Yeah, or potentially the jack pops out and Chris Ace Watson's bowl might go out there with it.
Yes.
As it glances off.
So you want half the yellow bowl at the front, because the jack's not going your way, but gives your bowl a chance to get in the same areas. He's probably ditch weight.
That looks tight.
But
Probably tried to shape it a little bit.
Yep.
And Wendy's still got a bowl to come. So Chris has just realised that Wendy's got a bowl in her hand down there. So
she'll put the jack mat 3 foot further closer than it was. So no, Chris wouldn't do that.
Well, out. Oh, no, she's not going to play
anyway.
it. Yep, not going to play it. Chris knew that. So 2 shots it is to Queensland. Just make sure that was 2. It was definitely 2, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Yep. So an 11 shots to 9 lead as we near the halfway point of this one. This end will take us through to that halfway point. And as we look across the green in the other women's triples match happening on the green in front of us, 11-9 is the lead to South Australia over the NT after 8 ends. In the men's event, it's a 7-3 lead to South Australia over New South Wales. And Victoria are leading Tasmania. Just can't quite give you a scoreline in that one at the moment, but we'll come back to that. But I can tell you Victoria are definitely leading that one. A short jack by the look of it here, so Jill will now roll the jack.
It's the second jack she's lost from Lauren there.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you look in the Bowls Now app and you head to your event and click on live scores, there are some games that are being live scored. Unfortunately, not every game is being live scored in there, but I can tell you it's 7-3 to Victoria at the moment in that one after 8 ends. Yes, after 8 ends. The Bowls Link app continues to improve. The Bowls Now app and the Bowls Link services continue to improve.
They do.
Of course, if you don't have the Bowls Now app, head to the iTunes store. Sorry, the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, and you can grab the app from there, whether you're on iPhone or Android. Little trail of the jack here.
It's a great correction.
Well, at least both leads actually have done a pretty good job of not being short.
No, there hasn't been a lot of short
It's
bowls.
important in triples. You know, the lead plays a really important role in triples. Probably more so than in a game of fours. The lead really sets that foundation.
There's just not enough bowls to waste. So if you want to win a competition, you can't afford to waste many bowls.
Great shot from Jill, just falls off her own, falls in for shot.
Just pulled up short, so still 1 to WA.
Nice words coming through for Sorrento as well from Peter Foster.
Irene just probably has had a little bit too much weight in the last few ends. She's been pushing through a little bit. She needs to lose a little bit just to get him in the head a little bit more.
That's the line they would have been coming from.
Yes.
Just a little bit quick to get down.
Yeah, there's a pretty good shell for her with that weight.
Can't blame her for reaching, that's for sure. Gail.
It's better for Irene. Just falling in front. No, just keeps on going, doesn't it? Looked like it was going to fall in, just touch the yellow ball on the way through to fall on it.
Early call. A little bit of commentator's curse on that one.
Yeah, it hooked more than I suspected.
South Australia have pulled away again in that women's triples match, 14-9 now after 9 ends. So they're pushing to have a big advantage after 2 rounds, after they won their first match 19-16 against the Queensland combination that we see here. South Australian combination of Jackie Jacobs, Lee Robinson and Sue Phillips.
So Chris shouldn't be frightened of this. A little touch of that jack could make 2 or 3 or 4.
She's out to that good line. It then just boils down to your weight, doesn't it? And it just needs to be spot on. Because look at that line, perfect.
Well, Wendy had perfect weight, just didn't have the line. She's got more line this time.
Just carrying around the outside.
Just also a little bit more weight, but
it's one of those challenges, Pete, not to correct both things. Especially when that wind's pushing across as well. You sort of tend to want to say, well, I'll give it more of a chance. I'll push into it, and suddenly you're a bit high and wide. Yeah. This is a great effort. Just going to run out of juice at the most important time. 1 it is to WA, and so at the halfway point of the match, there is just 1 shot in it. 11 shots to 10 in favour of Queensland. Reminder that both of these teams lost their opening round matches, so both in search of a win here. That neither of them lost by much. A 5-shot loss to WA and a 3-shot loss to Queensland. So certainly not the end of the world, but makes this match so important. And of course, all of our coverage brought to you by Tourism Western Australia, Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries, Lottery West, and the City of Joondalup. Experience more in Joondalup town. There it is. I know that plenty of people that have come over here have taken the opportunity just to get around and have a bit of a look around.
That's good.
Believe a couple of people that we know well, Christina and Ellen, have made a bit of a holiday out of it as well after yesterday's events.
Doesn't surprise me.
Checking out all WA has to offer. I think they headed over to Rottnest yesterday afternoon.
Oh, okay, yesterday afternoon would have been good. Might have been a bit choppy this morning. Get amongst the quackers. I expect to see a photo at some point today then.
Just one of those experiences that you can have here in Western Australia.
Jill's played this pretty well. She's got to run a bit more. It's a really good shot. She's played really well, Jill. Leaders, both leaders, Lauren and Jill have had a really good competition. This would definitely be the longest end we've played. The mat's back a bit more, so it's a really good 3/4 length.
A bit more of a challenge.
Yes.
David Baker watching on. Hello, David.
David.
Yes. Former proud NT representative.
Of course, father of Sean, who had another wonderful series as he does.
Certainly did.
Against us anyway, he did. Annoying as usual.
All right, Gail looking to get down in amongst this. Drop down inside that Joondalup bowl. She's just going to carry around the outside.
So a little bit loose from the Queensland team this end.
Well, that's opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If they can get Irene can put something really close.
Not far away.
Pretty good. Just
Little snick off her own on the way in, and that'll do to count at the moment. So it's probably 4 to Western Australia at the moment.
It's going to be one of those ends. You're either going to be 4 down or you're going to get shot.
Sometimes
you beat them all.
The times you get your score is not when you're all over the jack, Pete. Sometimes when there's gaps, that's when you get your score. But has Gail done something about this? She certainly has. What a shot.
Number 1. That's a great shot.
Great shot. You can imagine Chris is going to be hunting, but that is a great shot.
That's going to... Wendy can breathe again.
Yes. Now, Pete, we talked about the players contending with the wind and how challenging it is, but I think our man Mitch, that's been looking after all of our equipment, all of our pictures, I reckon he's been working just as hard as all the players to try and contend with these conditions, and he's done a fantastic job.
He has.
He's done a fantastic job just keeping all the equipment on the ground.
There's more tape used than... Yeah, he's probably run out of tape. Yes, he has run out of tape, I can confirm. No more tape. Yes. So Chris has just got enough of it, or not. It's not quite. Didn't attack it that as much as what we might have thought she might have.
Clive Williams, another one of our competitors from last week, agreeing Warwick Bowls Club is the benchmark for all future helpers and volunteers to be measured by.
Oh, Warwick could be very happy
nice
to hear
call.
that.
Yep. Good on you, Clive.
Angela and the team out there. Well, Chris has got a decision to make, whether she really attacks this. It's 5 seconds, 1 down.
Queensland does have a bowl at the back of the rink that you can't quite see on that angle, so there is a bowl just sitting... Thank you, Mitch. There is a bowl just sitting down there. And so I don't think that'll factor into her decision.
Well, they're looking to come around that. I know that that's a decent shot, but can she get enough weight around that to turn it significantly?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, that is the narrow side.
Yes. So she can certainly draw it around that without any problems at all, but she's not going to be able to turn it very much.
Well, it's an interesting decision.
Does look like it's just... And Chris does have that shot available to her. It's not as if she's just a pure draw bowler. Will she get the jack? So that was definitely the weight required, but I'm not sure it would have come around that to do it. So maybe an opportunity lost there by the WA team. What's Wendy going to do? Make them pay by sliding under the yellow?
I don't think she's quite there.
No, the line was good enough. So
well, I think Queensland will be breathing a sigh of relief there. Gail Crompton came up with the big shot, and I'm a touch surprised that there wasn't a little bit more weight looking for that bowl there. But anyway, 12-10 the lead to Queensland after 10 ends have been played. In the end, you've got to decide the shot you play and back yourself in.
You do.
The other women's triples match that we've got on this screen, 14-10 the lead to South Australia over NT. And in the men's triples, 10-3 the lead to South Australia over New South Wales. And Victoria leading Tassie 8-4.
So the mat's up. Lauren has lost a couple of jacks short by trying to play these short ends. How's she gone this time? Still not overly there. It's still a close call, I think.
I think we're calling an umpire. Now, have they got the self-retracting tape here?
Oh, yeah, Vicky.
She does.
Vicky, certainly. She is the gun at this.
Right.
Not at the measuring, at the retracting.
Nearly lost fingers a couple of times early on, but
they've had some fun with this.
She's demonstrated the ability to learn from previous experience.
They've had the players duck for cover a couple of times.
Yes.
With the tape measure coming at them.
Looking for the 21. It is well beyond where the jack was. It looked like it was about a metre short. And here comes the tape back in from... Oh, this is expert stuff.
Yeah, no, she's...
That is outstanding. How'd your tape retraction go? Uneventfully it went.
Exactly.
That's what we're after.
All those tuning in for the first time would have no idea what we're talking about, but let's just say we did nearly lose a couple of eyes early in the week.
Look over, I can see Laney McGorman watching on.
Yep,
with Brett Davis. They'll be playing in the mixed pairs. That's tomorrow.
Gold medal around her neck already.
Yeah. A very nervous Goldman. She looks a little bit more relaxed than she did sitting on the bench at Sorrento a few days ago.
Yes. Oh, well.
Seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it?
Well over a week and a half ago now.
Yes.
Week and a half. They're nearly WA citizens. They've been here that long.
Well, first bowl sailed into the ditch for Lawrence. So a big opportunity now for Jill to land one right on the jack and put some pressure on. Not sure about... I think it's a little bit of both.
It is shot.
Almost the same amount of both required. Now can Lauren bounce back? Still looks to have some pace on.
It does, doesn't it? It's going to get back down near the tee.
Lynn, I think that New South Wales game is a game that's being live scored. I will have a look for you and see if I've got a score on that one.
It's a pretty good shot there from Joe Adam. Foot or so short.
Yes, New South Wales leading Tasmania 12 shots to 2 at the moment. That's after 9 ends, and that one is being live scored. There's only one game not being live scored in the women's triples. So you can keep an eye on that on the Bowls Now app. Go to the results section, head to the event, and you can check out all the live scores there by going to the live button, and it'll update everything for you.
Is it going to get to the right face of the yellow? No, it's not. Just underneath it. But still, a good second shot there from Irene. So again, Gail needs to come up with a pretty good bowl here just to put something in the area.
Out in a nice deep line. Now, how much is this going to get back? Just stayed a bit. Was doing its best work late. That can be the challenge with this breeze up. You drop, if you challenge the line, you bite the line a little bit and you go scooting across. So you chuck it out nice and wide, and then it leaves you alone a bit, and you're left a bit stranded.
Leaves you hanging.
It can depend with this sort of breeze. It can depend when it hits your bowl. If your bowl's already started turning and then the breeze gets in behind it, that's when you get those ones that rocket across. Whereas if it hasn't started turning yet, a completely different reaction. It's quite a constant. It's not a huge gusty type breeze.
No, it's not gusty. It does
intensity
maybe
varies
lessen
a
off
little
a little
bit.
bit, but
Yeah.
doesn't go. There's always something there. So what can Wendy do? Probably 2 down, suspect.
She's come up with some big bowls in the match so far. This one's just going to come up short. It's a great effort.
Might be second.
As you watch this game and you see a bowl come up a couple of feet away, Pete, you have to recognise the difficulty in the conditions at the moment.
Definitely.
And say, you know, you almost got to adjust what you're willing to clap.
Yep.
And say, well, if you can get within a couple of feet, you're actually doing pretty well, especially on the longer lengths.
I'm not sure if you can hear the wind whistling past our ears, but Chris coming from a deep line as well, but just bluffing a little bit short as well. Certainly got more weight. Too much weight. Opportunity for Chris to add another. Probably only the one at the moment. She's thinking about playing the other hand. No, Irene asked her not to. Looking for about a metre on her last.
Just overdoing the correction, I think.
Just
don't know whether that will have changed anything. Well, we'll find out because there's one removed. Well, not even going looking for a second now. So one shot it is. 11 to WA, 12 to Queensland as they led it by one shot with 7 ends to play. Just a reminder, if you are in the area, or even if you're not in the area, you've got plenty of time to get over here. We are going right into the evening session tonight, so if you want to watch some great bowls, there's still plenty of time to get down here. We've got another round of qualifying to come after this, and then of course we'll have the gold medal matches tonight and the bronze medal matches. So there'll be plenty of bowls to watch if you want to get down to into the Joondalup area. Plenty of spots in Joondalup to grab a bite to eat. Plenty of spots along the way, and some great facilities around. So get into the Joondalup zone. As
won't talk about that one.
I think that one is bent the wrong way for Jill, and she's done that live. So she'll be loving that.
Yeah, I think that might be the conversation going on right now.
Irene's struggling to hold it together at the back of the rink there.
So our Gelton viewers.
Fair to say it's 1 to Lauren at the moment.
As is often the case, it was good weight. It's amazing how often it is pretty good weight when you do that.
Right, well this one's bending the right way, so it's looking better. Tell you what, how do you bounce back after playing a wrong bias?
Yes.
How do you bounce back, Pete? What a shot! Great shot from Jill.
All is forgiven.
She hasn't even looked over at us.
No. I think she will eventually. So Mitch did the right thing and didn't follow it. Just let it go. Out of view.
There she is. She's looked over now.
Yeah, now she's with us. Irene just going to slide around. This is a really good shot here. Keeps rolling a bit, doesn't.
Just got to factor in that last minute turn, Pete. It's coming home late. Ever done one of those in a game, Pete?
No. No, I haven't. No. I've done a few short ones.
You have. Yes.
But I haven't done the wrong grass. How about yourself?
Well, I haven't done one in a game. I believe I did one in a state training session.
Practice, I remember that.
Still insist that was on the correct bias when it left,
I do remember that
somehow
now.
flipped over along the way.
I do remember that. Yeah, you're up the.
Osborne Park.
Yeah, your ball was going up the mower ramp.
Yeah, I think Kyle McElroy could have looked after me there, and he didn't.
Oh no, all fair's game.
I'm pretty sure I was involved in a game against Steve Glasson where they changed the stickers on his bowl, and he played a wrong bias in the roll up at a side series, and then continued to use that bowl with the stickers the wrong way round for the rest of the game, and never played another wrong bias.
Refused to change them. Yes, I think I remember that as well. So Chris, we're looking just to touch this jack around the corner, so you could pull it a foot, 2 feet.
So Fiona just asking about the streaming schedule for the rest of the week. So we will be covering rounds 2 and 3 of the qualifying rounds each day, plus the finals matches. So the streaming will start each day at around about 12 o'clock Western Standard Time. Keep an eye on that because sometimes they do go a little bit early on us. So, but it's scheduled for 12 o'clock, and we'll be doing that right the way through the week, and then going into the evening matches. So, as we say in WA, those evening matches are a nice sort of time. It's going to be a nice late finish for you over there, but that's all right. There's what better way to spend an evening to watch some of Australia's best go at it for some gold medals. So we've got pairs action tomorrow. We've got fours on Thursday, and we wrap things up with singles on Friday.
What day's the mixed pairs?
That's the same day as pairs.
Day as the,
that's pairs.
pairs?
That's pairs day. Yep.
Chris is pretty close to this. Just it's a better one.
Yep. She'll be letting Jill know that it's one to her. might be two actually.
I think she'd rather, possibly still two.
Just one.
She'd probably rather have got a bit of jack.
That one's just going to drift under.
Yeah.
Tough shot in these. Wind really getting up now. And so one removed, and might see a tape for a second. But no, I think Irene's happy with the one. We are locked away at 12 shots apiece after 12 ends. And for those in Geraldton, that 12th end might be one that gets replayed a few times up there, I reckon.
Yes. Yes, both bowls. Don't just show one. You've got to show both bowls.
Yeah, what was that one that you played at Moama, Pete? That landed about halfway up the green. Was that Vic Open? Or was it?
No, it's a five-a-side pairs.
It was the five-a-side pairs.
The old Moama five-a-side.
Stumbled off the mat, out this bowl came and landed about halfway up the green, just long enough, just beyond the 14 metres that it needed to be.
Touched the foot on the way through and wobbled and bobbled.
There were a number of very good players on the rink that enjoyed that, Pete.
We might have been up against Wayne Rudiger at that point.
I think that might be right.
It's one of those ones I was really hoping it was short to get it off the green, but it wasn't. It was actually legal.
Yeah.
But it's okay. No live stream back then, so
No.
can't be proven.
Well, this is a fair effort. Jill just working off her own, just got underneath it actually, needed the little edge. If she'd caught a little edge, it would have just taken that little bit more weight off. Tell you what, it is ripping through now. We just talked about the fact it wasn't gusty, but it's the intensity of the wind has picked up considerably at the moment. Yes.
Just to hold us down. We'll have to strap us to our chairs.
Would expect that the evening session might be a little bit more still.
Generally has been.
But right now, local time, it's 1:15 in the afternoon, and the wind is howling through.
So we're just gonna. She doesn't really want to touch this on the way through. She got a fair piece of it.
Probably one down.
Probably one down still. Could have been worse.
It is interesting to see. I mean, Pete, most of the time here in WA, you will see players play the narrow hand until it gets to the point where you just can't trust your bowl to come back against the wind, and then you see people potentially go to the wide hand. We're seeing nearly every bowl in this game on the wide hand.
It's pretty exclusive, isn't it?
As I say that, there's a change because that bowl lands in the way. But
there's a few early on that went the other side of the hand, and they actually drew back quite nicely. So we'll see what this one does. It's been a little while since we've seen one. I think Chris is asking her not to be short. There's plenty of chances. Sit the shot bowl, sit the jack. They do have the back two bowls. Oh, she's out there, so let's see what it does.
Great effort.
Really good effort.
Had every reason to reach, so...
It still had a nice little arc on it. So
it's not the worst setup for WA at the moment. Gail will want to get a bowl, just if she can, just get a bowl in between the jack and those two bowls behind. That would be A1 position. She's given it a chance to do so. Well, edged off the outside and has landed in a perfect spot. If she'd been able to come down and place a bowl, she would have almost put it there, I reckon. Does still give Chris an opportunity to back edge the jack for 2 or 3, but it just has reduced her options significantly by getting into that spot.
Yeah, no, you're still taking your chances, but the jack's going your way.
Updates at the conclusion of this end. As we start to get towards the pointy end of this one, we've entered the last third of the match. 18 ends is the trip.
So Chris is just under it, is she? Or she got it.
She's got a piece of
That's
it.
A great shot.
Wow. That sits as 4 to WA at the moment.
Well, there's a bit of room. This is not an easy shot.
Not easy at all.
You might have 3 feet for shot, but still tough. This
is one of those ones where you just expected to draw it, but it's not as straightforward as it looks. Wendy's given this a chance.
She has.
Urging it to reach. Still at least 2. May have got that back to 2. Straight on angle. Now the challenge for Chris is just to beat that without touching it. We'll get a bit of an indication of what this green's doing now in terms of bending, Pete, because
out wide.
This is very deep. And that won't get in bounds.
Oh, weight was perfect. So needs, 3 feet on her last will get a shot, probably. At least the same line.
Yeah, I'm going to say, at least she knows the line from last time. I don't know whether she's got much more on this, though.
Gail's urging it early.
Still getting there.
But
still getting there.
Tell you what, she
has. What a shot.
She didn't need to urge it at all.
Wow. that ran on beautifully.
I was watching Gail and she was urging it early, so
I went with the same call. One it is to Queensland, and a nice save there from Wendy.
Great shot.
13-12. Often the best way to read the bowls is to actually watch the players and their actions. And
the kid.
There was a fair bit of urging going on that one, but it got there. Again, that narrow hand, sometimes you get that little bit more run because the bend's taken out of it, so you just get that little bit more push rather than on the wider hand where it might be hooking late.
Lion's got the jack right this time. Perfect viewing position.
I'll tell you what,
nice start.
That is a fantastic bowl.
Nice start.
Got to understand at the moment the wind is ripping through, so to land a bowl there with your first is a fantastic effort.
I'm seeing the leaves swell past us here. Pretty good response too here from Jill. Just going to go under.
There's that sideways bend we were talking about.
Out there again, but it has added a bit more weight this time.
I'm pretty happy I'm sitting here watching this, Pete, because this looks hard. I've got to say, it certainly feels it. When I say it looks it, I don't mean the players are making it look hard, because they're doing a fine job. Yeah. But, we're a bit worried that things are going to take off.
Yes. I'll have to put the jumper on for next game.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Short here from Gail. So you'd expect Irene on the other hand. There's a nice seat there as long as she's comfortable with that line.
I did promise some score updates, didn't I? So, 19-13 the lead to South Australia over the NT. That's the other match in the women's triples competition. It's a 13-6 lead to Victoria over Tasmania in the men's triples. And an 11-6 lead to South... Oh, hang on, we're getting a score update as I speak. It is now 11-7, the lead to South Australia over New South Wales after 13 ends in the men's triples. The other matches on the other green are too far away for us to pick up, but there are a couple of those that are being live scored.
So Irene played a really good shot last time, just got on the wrong side of the bowl, but a good opportunity here to sit this bowl, trail the jack.
Do have New South Wales leading Tasmania in the women's triples 14-5 after 12 ends.
Irene Leahy is very close, but just that extra weight held it. Oop, it's gone still.
And unfortunately the other two matches on the other green are not being live scored, so I can't give you any updates there. So this one can go either way at the moment, but the fate of both teams in terms of wanting to challenge for a gold medal is very much in their hands at the moment. Wendy right on target here. Is it going to get down? Wow, it's a great effort.
Expect Chris to be reaching, which he is, just
down off the edge is a chance.
There's a chance off that edge.
Not quite the way she would have drawn it up, but gave it a chance, and in these conditions you're going to take that, absolutely. Tell you what, Wendy is going to get down. Not quite.
Not quite, no. Slide on through. Still not a lot of danger here for Chris. She can draw with confidence.
Probably the only danger is massively overplaying it with the breeze to contend with. That's the only danger. Tell you what, she's given this a fair chance. It's a great effort.
Very good effort.
Just on the outside of counting, so another 1 to WA, and once again we lock away at 13 shots apiece with 4 ends to play. WA were in front after 1 end was played. They scored a 4, they dropped a 3 on the next end and were up 4-3. And since then, Queensland have been in front, all scores have been level. So WA looking to just nip back in front. There's only one important time to be in front, Pete.
There certainly is.
It's a bit like holding shots. There's only one time you really need to hold shot.
Yes.
That's when you're counting them.
Okay, guys.
So it's a bit shorter than the WA teams played earlier. That's probably just a medium length.
We've seen both teams just play with the length a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah. So.
Pretty solid opening here from Jill. Just wants to pull up now. Nothing wrong with that with the first bowl, that's for sure. Tell you what,
Response here from Lauren Schultz.
that's a great shot from Lauren.
Really good shot.
Oh, and a little fall back onto the jack for a toucher as well.
They've had a good battle, these two.
Certainly have, and they've sort of drawn the best out of each other. Can Jill come up with the reply now? Didn't have to change a lot on my first. Might have just laid off the weight.
Yeah. So.
David asking, is that Brett Davis on the bank behind? Certainly is, David. He'll be in action in the mixed pairs tomorrow with Laney McGorman. If you wanted to be playing with anyone, well, playing with a freshly crowned Australian Champion of Champions winner isn't a bad way to go. As Lauren's done it again here. That is 2 great shots.
That's perfect.
Oh,
absolutely
that is
perfect.
Brilliant stuff.
A little bit of weight required to get under that front bowl as this things die down a little bit.
Just going to drift under.
It's going to stay on the rink.
It's an interesting one that's staying up. We're not playing respot. Becomes even more important when you're playing respot that you think about that weight and keep it on at the back of the rink. This time around we're not doing that, so if that does get if that end does get killed, then we will replay the end. But certainly something to think through when you're playing respot games is, if I'm going to play a bit of weight, try and stick around at the back.
Yep. Okay. Thought Chris was going to change her hand for a second, but he's gone back to the original shot. Looks a touch wider. She's close to this.
Just holding off.
Just holding off to her own.
This is looming as a crucial end right now.
Yeah, decision making here from Chris, whether she continues with that. Probably can't really afford to, because she's giving a lot of room for extra shots if she doesn't make connection.
And a perfect example there. That ball has just rolled out of the count, I think, but it's not far out.
I'm not sure about this Jack High ball of
That's
on
the
wing
room
here.
Yeah.
It's pretty close as well, so that's how much room there is.
19-15 the lead to South Australia over NT in the other women's triples match that's part of this section. So both of those teams were winners in the first round, South Australia and the NT. So the winner of that puts themselves in a prime position, but doesn't lock down a position. The margins are still close enough that there would still be the potential for that to turn around in the last round. Bit of cloud cover starting to sneak across us now as well.
Chris has gone back to the draw. It's not going to change much as her weight is through. So Wendy chases this one. She probably recognises. Is she going to? No, she didn't stop. So it's lost opportunity there.
The way this match has gone, this is a crucial bowl right now. Shows you the importance of the lead in the triples format. What a fantastic effort from Chris Ace Watson. Gets in there and guards against dropping a big number. But those two bowls of Lauren Schultz have sat there for the entire end. Wendy can play fairly confidently just up to that last bowl of Chris. That is going to... Well, I thought it was going to drop across, but it's holding on.
It's holding, and that is another shot. No, did the jack move?
The jack moved. Two removed.
It's a great shot.
Okay, Irene is going to go to the measure to check for the third, so... I reckon that measure's seen better days, but... Now, that was 3, I believe. Yes, 3 shots it is. So a 16-13 lead now to Queensland with 3 ends to play. And that's the first multiple we've seen in a while. We've seen 6 ones in a row that have been scored. And we're back in the multiple zone. And now really...
Good timing by the Queensland team.
Yeah, now really WA needs a multiple right back at Chatham. But there's no hint of rain, but we are certainly well and truly encased in cloud now. That blue sky is gone. Well, the blue sky is still there.
I was going to say, it's still there, surely.
but it's covered by cloud, so that's actually happened quite quickly.
Yes.
Very short end in play right now. That would only be just, you've probably got a slightly better perspective on it than me, Peter, but that would only be just past the mark. So very short end. And Jill just passing on the outside of the jack.
Just looking at the forecast for the rest of Tuesday, apparently it's going to be sunny. So the breeze is supposed to decrease the longer we go this afternoon, so that'll be nice.
Suddenly WA are in a situation where they almost need to win all the ends remaining now. 3 shots down with 3 to play. If they were to drop another end, then it puts them 4 or 5 behind with 2 to play, and that starts to get difficult, especially when we're only in a 6-bowl game.
Yes. So
really, you would think it's going to take all the ends in WA's favour to bridge this gap and get in front. As Gail adds another nice bowl there, drops it inside for shot. Still a bit of room.
Couple of feet. Irene is on the forehand, the narrower hand.
Played it really well.
Slide.
Going to get a land. Does.
Yep, does.
That'll do.
At least one. So back to 3 feet, but there's plenty of room. It's a high line. Will it get back on a short end? Certainly trying.
Irene sticking with the forehand side here. Just needs to make a slight adjustment of pace. It's right in the zone.
Just got to.
Where's the jack going?
Yeah, where's the jack going is the question.
Nowhere really. So a little nudge as it went past, and that will be enough to count.
Still plenty of turn on that hand, considering the breeze that it's pulling into. Still really went at the end. If you look down the angle, that touched the jack and still got to there, and strong breeze against it.
So we haven't really had a signal, but it's potentially 2 or 3 to WA at the moment. So skippers now with their opportunity. Wendy with enough room on a very delicately short end. How much has she got on this?
Not enough, I don't
Not
think.
enough. That's the danger with that delicate end, isn't it? You watch everybody go past with a metre, and then you go out and play your own, and you come up short. Well, Chris Ace Watson not perturbed by that bowl being slightly in her line. Well, this is a brave line. We said it's been turning.
It's more the weight here that's going to hurt, I think. Just come into view around the yellow one there. So it was more the weight, I think. It's pretty important. It could be certainly 2, could be 3. Yeah, you don't want to give those 3 back. I'm not sure it's got the weight again. No, it doesn't.
Well.
Oh, no. Irene has given up on that other hand. Chris does not want to be tight here, and just a little trail even takes it away from her own. So
Irene's clapping, but I'm not sure about the weight.
I think it's got enough. I think it's got enough. It hasn't got a lot, but did it fall out? Work.
Well, I'm pretty sure the measure's coming out here. There's 1. So 1 has been removed, and now we're going to go right around the clock here and measure these, because
you'd think the other blue one is in.
You would think so, and then it's close from there on.
Yeah. Got the signal that the front one isn't in, according to Mitch. It's got a slightly better angle than we do.
Okay, so first job is to find the closest Queensland bowl. That's what they're doing here. And see how many WA ones drop inside. So that's in.
That is in as well. Here we go. Here's the one.
Wow.
Here's the call.
That is looking in on that look.
Oh, easy.
Yes, there
easy.
it is. So that is 4 shots to
Wow.
WA, and just when we said WA needed to win every end to win the match, they're in front. 17-16, 2 to play.
I'd like that to have been the last end.
South Australia and NT 19-16 to South Australia at the moment. That's with 16 played, so 2 ends to play. That's there.
Tightening up as well, isn't it?
Certainly is. In the men's triples matches, 13-7 lead to South Australia over New South Wales with 3 to play. Victoria has a handy lead over Tasmania in the other one. Just can't quite see Victoria's score, but it's
7, and Victoria are in the teens.
Well, 7 is Tasmania.
10, yes,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And we can see the 1 of Victoria, just can't see what that second number is.
We'll just have a look at that scoreboard for you, because it seems to have just frozen on 13 all. So the current score is 17-16 in favour of the WA combination.
Good start there from Joe Adam. A couple of feet through, 2.5 feet through.
And we do have 2 ends to play. You can see that score on your screen on the actual scoreboard. There you go, up to date.
Jill again.
Well, this is going to come ripping home.
Yeah, this is a great shot here. This is all over it.
Just to let you know, they are aerodynamic that Jill's using, so, and Lauren also using aerodynamic.
This will swing a bit yet, so how much will it go? Holds into second.
Irene to the backhand side, the narrow side.
That was Aero Optima, that bowl.
Okay, well, it's not the information I was given.
Just got the close up there.
I can only go on what the players tell me they're using.
It's not good when she doesn't know what she's using.
In fairness, I asked her teammates. I did. So Lauren is using Optima. Okay, which is slightly wider line than the Dynamic.
Yes, it is. It just runs it out. It's pretty good. Oh, it's going to run it out, all right. Sorry about that. It just went out of view on my view. Apologies.
Well done, Pete.
I don't have direct line on this length. We've got our TV screen in front of it, and as it went past me the halfway mark...
People don't want to hear excuses, Pete. You got it wrong. It's all good, mate.
I got it badly wrong.
Yeah.
Badly wrong.
Now, the wind's helping is the call from... I don't know. That's done enough to count, so...
3-4.
Yeah. Wow. What a turnaround we've had. WA scored 3 fours in this match. Queensland have scored 3 threes.
This will help.
Well, that's not 4 anymore. That's for sure. Oh, and a little fall back. Yes.
1 to the WA
now
team.
Pete, how does WA play this? Because there is the option to sit that bowl or turn their own bowl to jack, but the problem is it's different weight. If you play to sit the bowl, you're playing more weight than you are if you're playing to turn the bowl to jack.
I think you're just turning the bowl to jack, aren't you, at this point in time? If you can pick up 2 here, put your 3 in front the last end, you'll be reasonably comfortable with that.
Tend to agree.
just on the draw. That's a really good shot. That
turn the ball to Jack.
Turned it to Jack.
Yes.
Didn't turn it through the Jack.
Well, the trouble now for Wendy is she can't afford to play any weight here because she gets her own out of the head. Well, she is playing weight. and
she's got her own here. Oh,
she caught the edge of the bowl as well.
Oh, a little bit lucky.
It's still going to be...
as long as it's in play, is it? Down the wing
I
there. There we
believe
go. It's
it
just
is.
behind the logo.
Yep, we're just waiting for confirmation that it was still in, but I believe it's still
So 3. So if Chris Watson can get something really close here.
This is going to be another one of those ones that looks simple enough. But well, hang on, we might have a little clash of bowls here.
Oh,
those bowls have collided.
Chris will be disappointed with that because I think hers was pretty good.
Yep, so they will be sent back and play those again.
Chris will just pick it up and walk back. Won't even be
now,
sent back.
Pete, I've seen this happen once before where the players got on the mat, played them again and hit again.
Is that right?
Let's not have that happen.
I haven't seen that. Generally, one waits for the other, don't they?
Yes. So, in the men's triples, they've done the right thing and have let Chris play her bowl first.
Well, her bowl, I think, was pretty good.
Ooh, I don't know that she's got this one away.
It's a different line.
It's going to be well short. It's going to be well short. Yep.
The only hoping that it may change the Wendy line because
it is a nuisance.
It's
that's
a
for sure.
nuisance. You don't really want to be trusting yourself to be around it because it may not get back. But she only has to beat the balls that they're pointing at as well. So
on that angle, you can see how wide the Jack is on the line, and as we get a look at the peg there, so we're probably a foot inside the peg in terms of where that Jack is sitting. And again, it looks easy enough, but there's a lot of pressure on this bowl. This is a match right here, 19-17 next door, by the way, in the women's triples. There's SA in front by 2 playing the last end.
So she has taken the wider hand. She just doesn't want it to
Needs
get away
a clear
from
run
her.
now.
Will she get enough on that to not matter?
Well,
I think.
Wow.
I think she's had a couple of very lucky bowls here.
That
got her out of all sorts of trouble.
That is a huge result.
She hit that with a fair bit of weight as well.
Well, we've played 17 ends. And it's 17 each.
Should have a winner.
Here we go.
As you say.
So this is for essentially tournament life for both of these teams.
Yes.
In terms of the gold medal. If they want to be in the gold medal match, they must win this end. If they lose the end, they can still make a bronze medal match, but must win this end for a gold medal match to be within reach.
I think the NT has 1 bowl to go and they need 2 to draw, 3 to win, and they're currently 1 down with only 1 bowl to play. It's hard to describe what just happened on that. The Jack is right on the edge of the ditch.
Right.
Because the NT put it in the ditch, but South Australia had 1 right on the edge of the ditch as well, but only a foot away. The South Australian skipper's come down and sat her own bowl in the ditch, just glanced the Jack and went in the ditch, so she's still a live bowl. Otherwise she'd be game down.
Right, okay.
Just feathered the Jack before she fell in the ditch. And has really left NT nowhere to go because the toucher is in the ditch.
So South Australia are in a strong position over there. I can tell you in this direction, the last 3 ends in this direction have gone WA's way. Prior to that, it was Queensland all the way in this direction. They won.
Some good leaders bowls here. Really good leaders bowls. That's a good setup.
On the first 5 ends in this direction. WA's won the last 3 ends. So,
Here we go.
well,
Wow.
the NT skipper has put the jack in the ditch, but it's going to be a South Australian win. It didn't quite go on the angle they needed.
Well, I think the jack did. For
Yeah,
those.
the bowl didn't sit on the right side of the...
So the NT have got to touch her in the ditch as well, for those who obviously can't see it.
well, yeah, no one can see it, but yeah.
And the jack has gone towards their bowl, which is great, but unfortunately, the bowl that put it in the ditch went the other side of the South Australian.
So we'll move on, but South Australia win that one. So South Australia move to 2 wins from 2 outings in this section, and one of these teams is going to be within reach by winning this match.
Yeah. More importantly for these two, no shots up virtually, so a win still leaves them well and truly in it, because it's not as if South Australia got a lot of shots up.
They only won their first one by 3. They've won that one by 4. So certainly plenty that can happen in the last. Now, is this one going to land? Well, it's landed twice, and that'll do. It's at least... Oh, there you go. I was about to say it's at least 1, but it is 2. Signalled by Wendy. 2 down.
So it's just got a bit of weight on this one, so...
A little bit of debate in the comments about that last end, whether you're allowed to take that.
I think you're allowed to take it. I think you should take it.
Yeah.
But that's a shot by Irene, so that's 3 shots. So it's all down to Wendy Wilson to draw the shot. I think that's the only shot
Come
she's
up with
got.
something
She's got to
special.
draw the shot. So
Yep.
you ride your luck on the previous end, and then you play a really good bowl, and no one cares anymore because you've just won the game.
14-8 lead to South Australia over New South Wales. They're playing the last end. That's in the men's triples. And might just clarify, I think South Australia beat NT in the women's triples by 3. I thought it was 4, but it was only 3.
It's only 3.
Yep.
They got the one on the last end.
Well, Wendy is close to contact here.
I
She's
take
got
that
the
back.
jack,
She doesn't have to draw a shot.
and the jack has gone forward. And now Queensland hold shot.
The Queensland probably hold 2 or 3.
Of course, 17 all.
So she's,
One's the key number.
she's riding that luck a little bit more. That could have gone anywhere. And
In the zone, though, with that one.
Oh, she hit it
Mm.
with only a jack target as well. Wasn't
Mm.
a target at all. So she hit that one really cleanly.
Come on, Chris.
Just bounced in a nice spot.
Yeah, we couldn't quite be sure where that jack was going.
No.
Could have killed.
Could have gone anywhere.
Wow. Here we go. Wendy can nail the jack here. She goes a long way to winning the match.
She likes it.
She's out after it.
She likes this.
She's played it really well. Well, talk about giving Chris something to beat. That certainly does. Well, Chris is going to the forehand side now.
Changes her hand. She's played some good shots on this hand, so...
Here we go.
Well,
Chris Ace Watson to win the match.
has she got the weight? Because the line's very wide.
It needs to run all the way.
Yeah, I don't think that's reaching.
And he's not going to get there.
It'll be second shot, but... maybe second shot.
We haven't had a signal, but it is just one, I believe. Yep, one shot is the end result. So, Queensland take the win, an important win, and they move to within a chance in the last round of getting to the gold medal match tonight. For Western Australia, the best that they will be able to manage is to potentially find their way into a bronze medal match, although that'll depend on other results. Yep. As we look up, we'd think South Australia would win that. They're 6 shots in front in the men's triples. You can only score 6, so we'd think that
they can't lose.
And Victoria were well in charge against Tasmania, although our vision of that scoreboard is a little blocked at the moment. So that will be where that one. We can't quite see that. So, look, check out the Bowls Now app for all of the results, or head to the results portal on the Bowls Australia website to get all of those scores. We will leave you there for this round of coverage, but we will be back now. That next match is scheduled for 3 p.m. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts a little earlier. That looks like an 18-10 win to Victoria over Tasmania. Great work from Mitch again, as usual.
On the ball.
Now, speaking of great work, we absolutely thank the work of Tourism Western Australia, the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries, Lottery West, and the City of Joondalup, where all the action is happening in the Nationals 2023. We're in the final few days. We're loving it. We've got round 3 action coming up for you. Pete, thank you very much for your time again.
Thank you very much, Clive.
We'll catch you back here in just over an hour's time. But make sure you like the Bowls Australia Facebook page and turn your notifications on when we go live. So do you, and you catch more action back here at Joondalup. We'll catch you then.